Hey everybody, welcome to today's yoga class. Today's focus is going to be hamstrings. If you have a set of blocks, they're going to be very handy. If not, I would suggest maybe grabbing a few thick books that may be somewhat of the same thickness and you can have them by your side when you need them. Also, a strap or a belt is going to be handy, and we're going to be using the wall. So those three things are really going to help this practice. We'll get right into it. We're going to come into down dog. So I like to come into down dog starting out in tabletop with my hands under my shoulders and my knees under my hips, but then I like to step back into plank. This creates a really solid alignment that we'll be able to use moving forward. So from here, push the floor away in your hands, lift your hips up and back into this down dog. This is going to be the ideal down dog position is when you press your shoulders, your chest like towards your shins. I'm going to kind of avoid that so I'm not pressing into my microphone and doesn't scratch in your guy's ear. But you want to push the floor away and send your chest towards your shins and the heel of your feet towards the floor. If they don't touch, that's perfectly fine. But think about sending the energy of the heels towards the floor. Pedal your feet here a few times, especially if this is the first down dog of the day. This is a really good way to warm up into the calves and hamstrings. You probably feel it by now. Good, we'll find some stillness. Good job. Inhale, reach your right leg up to the sky. On the exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Place your right foot in between your hands, lower your left knee down. You can keep your back foot tucked or untucked, and this might be the first opportunity for blocks. We're going to straighten that right leg and come onto the heel. So if you have a hard time touching the floor in a position like this or any position moving forward, that's when we're going to use the blocks. If your hamstrings are very tight, try not to bend them this much, but rather bring the blocks to your side, and so you can reach the blocks instead of reaching the floor. Think about pressing your heel into the floor a little bit. It's going to activate the hamstring. Breathe. Always breathing when we're working out or stretching. It lets the body and brain know it's okay to be in this position. It may be somewhat stressful. You don't want to push past your end range of motion anytime we're doing these stretches. You want to push towards your end range, not past it. Great job. So we'll bend into that left leg, the right leg, and step the right leg back, and then step the left foot forward. Same thing, we'll come onto the heel. Straighten that left leg, press the heel into the floor. Even think about like lifting the left cheek up a little bit. So down with the heel, and we're lifting like up in this area, so we're sending energy in two opposite directions. That should intensify the stretch a little bit. Just another few seconds. Good. Slowly bend into that left leg, bring it back. We'll set our blocks off to the side if you have them. And then if you have a hardwood floor, you want to bring your mat like right up against the wall here. So one of my favorite stretches, everybody loves this stretch, especially if you had a long day. It's just nice to relax. So you're going to bring your right hip towards the wall or against the wall as much as you can, and then come onto your back, just swing your legs up the wall. If your hamstrings are really tight, you may have to scooch away from the wall a little bit. You don't have to be all the way on it, that's fine. And you're just gonna let your legs fall to their natural position. You don't have to force them down. You don't have to yank them down. Just relax and feel the stretch, and I'll even maybe be quiet for a little bit. We'll just relax in the static stretch. If you have some music that you like, some calming music you wanna put on, feel free. Just breathe here. You may notice as you get a little bit more loose, your legs start to open up a little bit more. You may get a little bit further down the wall. Don't force it. Another 30 seconds here. We're almost out of this, so when we do come out of it, I want you guys to take your hands to like the outside of your knee, or maybe even a little bit lower or higher, depending on where you're at. And you're gonna use your hands to bring your legs back together here. We don't want to use these muscles that we were just stretching to do the work to bring our legs in. So you can use the hands, bring your legs right straight up against this wall here in this waterfall position. This might be a really good stretch for some of us in the hamstrings. We'll hang out here just for a couple of breaths. Good. We're going to slide back a little bit. You're going to have both feet flat, as if you were doing a squat on the floor. You're sort of mimicking that position here on the wall. Okay. You may even have to scoot back a little bit more than that. You're going to cross your right leg over your left knee in this figure 4 position, and you'll notice if you have to adjust at all, then you can adjust. But ideally, my tailbone is flat on the floor. So if it's your tailbone's, if your butt's like wicked high and your tailbone's off the ground, maybe you just scooch back a little bit more. This should be a pretty good stretch in that outer right glute. It shouldn't be too crazy, so if you have to back off a little bit. Breathe. You can notice if you want to give your knee a little nudge forward. Don't really press it aggressively, but just give it a little nudge forward. If it's like back like this, notice if you give it a little bit of an assist to here in this even line, if that helps. And just breathe. Always come out of a stretch sooner if you need to. Slowly come out. You're there home with yourself, so you know better than anybody if a stretch is too long. Just because I say we're in a stretch for a minute doesn't necessarily mean we have to stay there. So bring that left ankle over the right knee and relax into this figure 4 stretch and breathe. Slowly release that left leg off the right. Scoot away from the wall. This job, we can adjust our mat if we need to. Cool. So just to touch on what I was saying in that stretch, if there's a designated time that we're holding a stretch, that's the goal, but maybe it's the goal over time. In the moment, the real judge of how long you should hold a stretch is how you feel, okay? So always think like, if I stay in this stretch any longer, is it gonna be beneficial or is it not going to be beneficial? So if you were in person with me and I have you in a stretch and it seems like you're struggling a little bit and I ask you like, is this, staying in this, is it gonna be beneficial to you or not? And you tell me no, I'm gonna ask you to slowly come out of that stretch, right? So just because that we're supposed to be in a stretch for an amount of time doesn't mean that you have to stay there. Always go in and out of stretches very slowly and controlled. Okay, so we're going to grab our strap or our belt, come onto your back, and actually wrap the strap around the bottom of your right foot, and then straighten your leg as much as you can. So even if you're down here, I'd rather you be down here with your leg straight than be up here with your leg bent. Okay. So wherever you're at, I'm just going to show you this real quick. You're going to notice that right now, all I'm doing is pulling my foot back with this strap. I'm not doing any type of activation with this leg. I'm just pulling. Okay, so we're going to rotate between doing that and then activating this leg. So I'm just pulling, and then watch right now when I activate my hamstring compared to not activating. Activating, not. So we're gonna hold not activating for 10 seconds, and then you're gonna activate. And then you're gonna gently stop activating, but still stay in your stretch. Don't yank any harder, but just still stay here. And each time we're gonna stay in this position and activate and deactivate. Okay, we'll go for about 60 seconds. So get comfortable and activate. Relax, keep that stretch. I'm just going to keep my eye on the clock. Activate. Breathe. And relax. Notice when we relax, we're still staying in the stretch. Activate. Relax. Last hold. And completely relax. Bend the right leg. Slowly swap them out. Left leg up. Get set. And we'll stretch with activation. Relax. Keep that stretch. Engage. Rest, or relax, sorry. Engage. Last one, we're just relaxing. And then completely relax. Nice job. 2 more stretches. Grab your yoga blocks again, one more time with these guys. So you can set them up on each side of your mat if you have a mat, and you can actually bring your, I'll just move this for now. You're gonna bring 1 foot in between them, facing forward, and your other foot is going to be back about maybe 4 or 5 feet with your back foot at a 45-degree angle. Right now my hips are actually facing you guys. I'm going to turn so my hips are facing the front of the mat. Keep my legs straight and hinge at the waist and bring my chest towards my shin. Now the point of the blocks is, again, if you can't reach the ground, we're going to bring the ground to you. So instead of you not being able to reach the ground and like bending and take away from the hamstring stretch, we're going to bring the ground to you, allow you to straighten those legs and hang out in this stretch here. So while we're here, you can use the blocks at any height that you need, and you're going to pull your hips back and try to lengthen through that hamstring even more. Just breathe here. Good. If you have a block, take a block that's on the inside of your right foot, plant your left hand on that block, and then twist your right arm up to the sky. I just like adding twists into my workouts and my stretches. Great way to rotate through the spine. Breathe. Good. Bring the right arm down, bend into the left leg now, and stand up. Step that right foot back. Nothing fancy here. We'll bring the left foot forward, same thing. Left foot forward, right foot back, and spin that foot at a 45-degree angle. Square the hips with the front of the mat. Lower the chest towards the shin. Pull the heels, pull the hips back. Stretch that front hamstring. Nice job. This time we're going to take the block that's on the inside of our left foot. You can have it like this. You can have it like this. If you're more flexible and you don't need the block, plant the hand on the floor, twist up, and breathe. Bring the left hand down. Bend into the left leg, step it back. Come onto the knees. A similar stretch to how we started. We'll finish off with something a little different. You're gonna step from the knees, you're gonna step your right foot like straight into an angle. Earlier, we did this here with the right foot right out in front of us. You're gonna step that foot at an angle here, and then you're gonna reach the arms in front and down, only as much as you can tolerate. So it's a pretty intense stretch. You don't have to be reaching out all the way to the front of the mat. If you want to be directly under the shoulders, that's fine. Take it to wherever you're at and just breathe here. Great job. Slowly come on out. Good, we'll release the right leg and we'll bring the left leg in front to the left as opposed to here. We're going here and we're sending the hands in between. Sorry for that noise a couple seconds ago. If you guys heard it, bear with me. I think it's done. Slowly come on out of that. Bring that left leg in. Nice job. Great work today. That was a lot of hamstring work, so you should feel pretty loose in the lower body. I really appreciate you guys checking out my video. If this was helpful, subscribe and check out more calisthenics, yoga exercises and routines. Have a great day.